Hi everyone, welcome to the 37th episode of the Zicast. As always, I'm your host Ryan Zayaks, and today I'm joined by a couple of businessmen, Michael Katz-Flynn and Mason Klerin. Say hi guys.
Hello.
Hey guys.
And I'd like to shout out my TD, my co-worker Alex Bean. Thank you for stepping in. So guys, I know you're very acquainted with the Zicast, Michael Katz-Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mason, I just met you, and now you're being introduced to the show. And I'd like to ask you guys a bit about like what you're studying and what you do. So how about you guys tell us a bit about yourselves?
All right. I'm Michael Katz-Flynn. I am a senior with a double major in applied business and film and television. I'm originally from Newton, Massachusetts, but I now live in the Back Bay of Boston, Massachusetts. I am the executive producer for #That, which is Q30's pop culture news show.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 2 years on the cast of Quinnipiac Tonight. And Mason, want to take it away?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Mason Klerin. I'm from Ridgewood, New Jersey. I played ice hockey my whole life, and now I play club roller hockey at Quinnipiac. I'm an applied business major as well. So, I've taken entrepreneurship classes, finance classes, and management classes. So, after 2 years, I chose it. I was business undeclared at first. But now, on the weekends, just like to hang out with my friends, play hockey, and that's about it. Go to good restaurants.
Awesome. And where are you from?
New Jersey. But, I'm from Croatia originally.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And we could get into that later on.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And of course, Michael Katz-Flynn, on our previous episode, we had Joe Flynn on, who's your co-EP. So we get the Flintstone
Hell yeah.
duo episodes and back-to-back episodes. So I'm really interested to kind of ask you guys about studying business, since I haven't really had any like business major students on here before. And of course, business is so important to what I want to do. So I'd like to ask you guys, like, what intrigues you the most about studying business?
So I initially decided on business because like I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do in life. Like I know I eventually segued into double majoring in business and film, but like I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. So I did went with business because you really can't go wrong with business. Like you can apply it to everything because no matter what you do in life, it is a business at the end of the day. And also the thing I like about business class is that what I find unique compared to like other classes is that even if you don't apply the stuff to your job, you can like apply it to like real life things. And, like it can really help you out in life, which is something I find interesting about business.
Yeah, because especially since you study film, like film is a business. It's a massive business. And like you said, you can apply it to so many different things. Of course, Mason, like what would you have to say in this regard?
I like business because, applied business major, you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought I was going to do finance as a freshman, be a major, but I was like, I don't know if I want to solely focus on that. So I did applied business, and it's a combination of a bunch of things. And, I invest in stocks, I invest in, bullion and stuff, like precious metals and stuff, and I have bonds and stuff. So I think it's just a broad range of different investments. You come together, and over time, they go up no matter what happens. So it's a less risky stuff to do if you broaden your assets.
Fascinating. Do you mind going into a bit more about like applied business?
Now that I'm applied business, I've taken probably 3 or 4 entrepreneurship classes with Trip Sanders. I've heard he's come here a few times. So there we've had to make like our own businesses, and usually not successful. It's just for class.
Yeah.
But
when we had Daniel Keon together for that class.
We had this other creativity and innovation class, and every week we had to try and make. Started with $1, then $10, then $100, and $1,000, and $10,000. It was really tough to get all the way up there, but every week we struggled to like make some random business work, and usually in the end it just never worked. But it was fun doing it. It was fun challenging.
Yeah, it was like fun challenging yourself. Like at the end of the day, even though most of us didn't succeed in $1,000, we at least try, and like it was like a unique experience, like to see just how much money you can make in such a short amount of time. Like even though my group didn't make it to the $1,000 mark, like we were still surprised on how much money we were able to get in under an hour. So it was just really cool to challenge ourselves like that.
Yeah. For that class model, like how were you able to find success in that? Like how did you go about like building that business in your class?
So like the first week when we did it was just to make $1. We literally thought it was impossible to make $1. So we sold a pencil to one kid on campus, and he gave us like $2 or $3. We were like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, not the $10 challenge, but the $100 challenge, I did a raffle. And so I went to kids on campus, and I said $2 and you join my raffle, and I probably got 40, 50 kids. And as I was doing the raffle, I was in the library, and
Yep.
public safety came up to me, and they said, "Are you doing a raffle?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And they said, "Well, you're gonna come with us." And I said, "What do you mean I'm gonna come with you?" And so a week before that, there was a kid on campus. He was called the Comedy Club kid. He was
Yep.
selling fake raffle tickets, and public safety thought it was me. So they brought me back to my class. They asked teacher if she even knew who I was, and they did know who I was. So public safety walked away.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like,
Yeah.
I was in a different group than Mason that week, so I was getting bad in my group. We just saw pub safety. I was just like entering our classroom. We're just like looking at each other, being like, "What is going
happened?
on?" And then we went in, and
It was pretty
and then,
funny.
and then we go in. We hear what happened. It's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty Mason Klerin.
Yeah, but also after I did the raffle, my friend won from back home. So everyone who did at Quinnipiac thought it was a scam. So they never did any business thing related the following week. They never bought our products anymore. So we had to go outside of school to sell products and stuff. Yeah.
Darn, they hurt your reputation. You
It
got
did in
busted
class. It did,
by
yeah.
public safety. You don't.
Yeah, but
you
it was
don't
a
see
real
that every
raffle.
day.
It was a real raffle.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, suffering from success,
I know.
as they would say.
Yeah.
Getting caught by public safety.
Yeah.
So, even though you guys have kind of gotten into it, how do you look to apply what you've learned as business students, whether it be like UMKF in film or you and Mason, whatever you try to pursue?
I mean, going into the business world, like now, I'm already looking for jobs in June of next year. So, I mean, I use my business skills to fix my resume, and every single person I apply to, I fix up my resume according to what their job site says online. So, like, if I ever get an interview with somebody, I'd have to read up on their company, talk about it, and also talk about my own experiences and what I can bring to them. So, yeah.
So you kind of cater your like resume, so to speak, to
Yeah.
what the business is looking for.
So, like, I'll save an original copy, and I'll make copies and edit one for every single one I apply to. Yeah.
So you kind of showcase the strengths they would be looking for.
Yeah, they would be looking for. Yeah.
Interesting. And UMKF.
Yeah, kind of similar to that. Like, I mean, as I said, you can apply business to like literally everything, but like how you do it in every different industry is like different. So like, I want to do like more film stuff. So like, there's like different research that goes on to that. Like, back in May, I attended the Cannes Film Festival, which like really really opened my eyes to like the business side of the film world, because like I've been studying more like the creative side of film, but that was my first time like getting to experience like the business and like seeing like all the networking you can do, because like that's a big thing about like the film business, is that it's all about who you know in that industry. So you really gotta get out there and network, like get yourself out there, like. And it's also interesting like how it can happen. Like, so I went to this one table, and like I forget the name of the company, but like it was the company that made like the Pooh Blood and Honey films, and like I asked them, hey, when's Pooh Blood and Honey 2 coming to streaming? And then he's like, and then he didn't, I don't think he fully understood English, so like he didn't know what I meant. And he's like, oh, are you only interested in Pooh Blood and Honey 2? Because we could do Blood and Honey 3, Bambi, Peter Pan. I was like kind of confused. I'm like, no, Blood and Honey 2. And he's like, all right, well, here, I'm gonna give you my business card. If you want to buy the rights to this, it could be all yours. We can negotiate the price. And like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to like, I felt awkward, so I didn't want to blow it off. So I like took it. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't end up doing anything with it because I mean, it's Blood and Honey 2. What am I gonna do with it? But like, that was just like a really cool experience. Like, it's like experience, because like, and outside that, like, there were like several events where I could go and like network with people, and like you just meet a bunch of passionate filmmakers throughout the world. So. Yeah, I mean, business is like different for every single industry, but like it's all about like getting out there and like who you know.
Yeah, he thought you were Mr. Moneybags, handing you the rights to the film.
Yeah,
that's insane. Like, yeah, how about you? Do you mind getting into a bit of Cannes for us? Because like that looked like such an incredible experience.
You know, Cannes was an incredible time. So like I had previously attended Sundance my sophomore year, and like the big difference I would say about Sundance and Cannes is that Sundance is more about celebrating the movies, where Cannes is more about like the actual business side of things. So it's like you go around, you network with all these people, you try and do deals with them, you try and make connections for when you enter the job world, and like you see all these movies that are like not guaranteed to like get out there. Like I know Sundance, like they're technically still not bought, but like Cannes, it's like people bring their movies there and hoping for people to see them so they can go out and buy them. Like I was really lucky. I got to see The Apprentice, which is the upcoming Donald Trump movie. Like. Months before it had a buyer, so like there was no guarantee that was even going to come out to America. Same with several of the other movies. Like it was just really cool to see, and like it was really just a life-changing experience. Like I saw so many like celebrities that like I never thought I'd ever see. Like I saw like Chris Hemsworth, Aubrey Plaza. I attended the premiere for The Surfer with Nicolas Cage and I got a high five, which was cool. And like I didn't get to see him, but one of my friends there, Julia Schnarr, who was a previous guest in the Zicast, like,
Yes.
she was sitting a few rows ahead of me, and she looked over, and like throughout the entire movie, Nick Cage was like mouthing his own lines throughout the entire thing, which very Nicolas Cage. Although not particularly the coolest celebrity I saw, but like my favorite experience was with Sean Gunn. So like we were like walking back from some event, and like we passed by, I make eye contact with someone, and then I look back. I didn't think much at first, but then we just started walking, and then 20 seconds later I saw him, and I looked to my friend, and I'm like, was that Sean Gunn? And then and then he just like bolted it down the hill and like went back to him, and like I followed behind. And then it was really cool. Like out of all the celebrities we saw, like they were obviously mostly friendly, but like he was the only one that actually took time out, say, to stop for a couple minutes and actually like talk to us about film and get to know us. Like we praised his brother James Gunn, like what he's done, and like he told us about like some of his movies and experience. And, like it was just really interesting to like hear from like his experience and like being the brother of like a very successful filmmaker too.
Yeah, I know with Sean Gunn, he's been in a lot of his brother's work, like the Guardians movies.
Yeah, like I remember like I asked him, hey, are there any plans for Kraglin to come back at some point? He's like, I don't know, man, but you can guarantee I'll be in DC because now James Gunn is the
Gunn
head.
running the show, yeah. And I remember I had your good friend Mick Hanley on here, and him and we talked about Con a lot, and he talked about how Con is a lot more of like the money shows there, with like the bigger films that are going there, where Sundance is smaller.
Yeah, Sundance is more smaller scale, but like Con, it's like a much wider variety, and also very tight security there. Like I already mentioned The Apprentice earlier, but like on the day of the premiere, like I was walking around and like there was people like holding up signs, "Apprentice ticket, please," like as if they were like asking for money, but no, they were just like all in tuxedos, like holding up cardboard signs asking for Apprentice tickets. And like there were several other movies where I saw that for, like Megalopolis. I saw that decent amount, which I waited in line for almost 3 hours too, and then didn't get in. And the thing that made me the most mad about that was everyone else that went to that showing got in, but they all got there like not even 20 minutes before I did. So if I had just gone there just that much sooner, that little amount of time sooner, I would have gone to see Megalopolis early. But I mean, it at the time of this recording, it comes out in a week, so I get to see it soon enough. I'll probably have already seen it by the time this is uploaded.
Yeah. Did anybody else in your group? Did Alex get to see
Alex
Megalopolis?
Alex got to see Megalopolis. She got really lucky. She like sniped a ticket.
Yeah. What did she think of it? Because I'm really interested to see that.
So most of the people that did get to see it said it was just all right. Like it was kind of interesting because like it was like the most hyped up film in the entire festival. But like everyone I know that actually got to see it said it was just like all right, like not bad, but like nothing out of this world. Like they gave it like 3 stars out of 5 mainly. I saw Francis Ford Coppola gave it a 5-star on his own
on his own
letterbox, which is kind of
letterbox.
funny to see, considering that by the sound of it, it's just gonna be an okay movie.
Yeah, it's like that meme where like Obama puts a medal on himself. If you see that,
yeah,
you
it's
know
I guess it's
meme?
just gonna be another example. Just because you have an all-star cast doesn't automatically mean you're gonna have a good movie. Like earlier this year, me and you we went to see Argyle. And, like the main reason why I wanted to see that movie is because there were just so many good actors that I liked and recognized. But like as you remember, it was just
Yeah, I did have a fun time with it, but I totally get what you mean. Like of all the movies you saw at Con, which would you say was your favorite or stood out to you?
So I already said like The Apprentice was my favorite. Like it was just like a really well-written movie, and like you kind of like got to see like how Donald Trump became the man he was, and like you see the people he was involved. Like it wasn't just his father, like they say in most of the stories. Like there was this like other guy that like taught him everything he knew, which was like interesting to see. And like there were all these other like smaller movies that like I forgot the name of a handful of them, but like there was a bunch of like smaller indie movies that like were like really cool to see, because like it's like there was a lot of stuff that like if I didn't go to Con, I probably would have never watched them, even if they did come out worldwide. So like it was just really cool to just see things that like you normally wouldn't watch. Like there's just a wide variety, because like it's also very competitive to get tickets, so it's kind of like you gotta take what you can get, even if you're not particularly interested in it. So it's just like you had some hits, you had some misses, you had some in the middles, but like it was just a cool variety of films to see, and just as I said before, like stuff you wouldn't typically see in a movie.
Yeah, and how was like living in France for that week, right?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. So like we were in like several Airbnbs, so like it was like apartment styles. Like there was some like really nice ones. Like I wasn't in everyone's Airbnb, but like every single B&B I was in, it looked completely different than the last one. Like they had their own unique standouts to it, which was really cool. A lot of interesting doors, I'll say that. Like it seemed like every door like had some like cheat code you had to do to get unlocked. Like there were like 2 people on the first day that like they were struggling to get in, and I had to come in and like help them get their door open for them because it was just like really weird on how you got open.
Interesting. And like, I know you talk about like how you could like walk everywhere. Like, how was like the environment?
No, it was
there
like
in
really
France?
nice. Like just how you could just walk everywhere. Where like it was just fun. Like it's just like everything was within a walking distance. Like I think I only had to Uber once in the entire trip. And that was and then the only reason why I did was because the bus driver was being kind of dumb, but that's a whole other thing. But like, it's very different culture than America. Like, it really makes you see like how car dependent our society is, and like, I really wish that like we could have like a more walkable society like it is in France. Although the reality is, it would have to be like a complete reconstruction overhaul for that to happen. So like, even if they started working on that tomorrow, it wouldn't be until decades down the line when we could probably get back to a point where we have good public transportation and they can like walk everywhere. And I remember like when I got back from that trip, I won the scale being like, oh, let's see the damage done. But I actually lost weight because like I did like an insane amount of walking. Like there were some days where I think I even reached 30K steps. Like it was insane.
Yeah, and we'll get into your fitness journey later. I'm sorry, Mason, to kind of isolate you. I do have a lot more MKF centric questions, so
right.
I apologize. But feel free to add anything. You too, Alex. So kind of moving onwards, MKF, I'd like to ask you about your time in Quinnipiac tonight, where we met, and in acting too, because we had an acting class too.
Yeah, no. So acting has always been something fun for me. Like I've gone to theater in high school, so like I used to play sports. I was never really that good at sports. And then spring of my freshman year of high school, I had a procedure which I wouldn't have been able to play lacrosse till like halfway through the season was over. So a few weeks before, I went to see like the school's winter musical, which I actually liked a lot, and like saw people I wouldn't have expected to like go in there and enjoy. My sister did a lot of theater, so I was like, you know what? Why the hell not? Let's give it a try. So I went in with an open mind and tried it, and I had a really good time. And so I proceeded to do like until 6 productions throughout my time in high school, and then I did theater a little bit in college. But like at Quinnipiac nights where I got my main acting gig, and like it was really cool to see because like it's like I really didn't truly understand how different TV and theater acting is until I did Quinnipiac Night. Like obviously I knew there was a difference, but like I remember like in the earlier days of my time at Quinnipiac Night, there was like some times where like I was like over projecting or going like too big with my deliverables when like I didn't have to go as big because like it's a TV production, so I don't have to like be as projective, and like also like having more of a script, so it's like obviously you still gotta memorize the lines, but like it's not as much pressure when it comes to like TV acting because like you can like stop in the middle and like redo, where it's like when like comes to theater productions, you gotta like be on the go, you gotta be on the know like on show night, otherwise you're done.
Yeah, kind of like I also had our teacher Tom Schwann's on here, our acting teacher.
Yeah, I remember that.
And like he talked about like kind of how to mold yourself for the camera.
Yeah,
and like what you said with levels.
Yeah, I would like Tom Schwann's definitely taught me a lot about acting. Like I could tell like he was pretty impressed with myself. Like, there were some moments where like I was scared that I wasn't gonna have a good enough of tape, but he was like, no, this is good, because whenever I act, I always feel like I had to go big, I had to go over the top in order to like have a good deliverable and put on a good performance. But like you really don't always need to go so big and over the top. Like small thing, like sometimes less is just more. Like and also like sometimes mistakes can lead to good things. Like I remember like as you remember like so we had to do like auditions and we had to like edit them down before that. So like I remember there was one week where I sent in my tape, and it wasn't until we got into class where I realized I forgot to crop out the beginning where I was getting ready and getting into character, and I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna be mad, I'm gonna lose points. But then we got him, and like he said, it actually worked really well because like it was able to showcase me getting how well I was able to get into character and differentiate from Miles Katz-Flynn and the character, because I went from happy calm to like I think I want to say it was like Anakin Skywalker's Revenge of the Sith monologue with like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like I just went to like dark and intense like in like 2 seconds. Yeah,
because you are great at going big. That's the thing. You got the big voice. You're a big guy.
I mean, I know I do a lot of things that leave people speechless and a lot of stuff, but
in the best of ways.
In the best of ways, and I know I do like give a lot of big reactions, but. Yeah, but it's also like important to know that sometimes less is more, which I definitely did learn a lot in Tom Schwann's class. And Quinnipiac Tonight also like was a big founding point for QU and like paved the way to become a film student. So like as I mentioned earlier, I was an applied business major because I didn't fully know what I want to do. Like I had a love for film and storytelling and character development for like a long time, ever since I was young. Like, I remember when like I was in like early elementary school, like I would like take my camera and take my Thomas toys and I would like play around with them and like make videos and like upload to YouTube. And then I also like did stuff like with like Legos. I mean, very poorly edited, I will say that, but like it was just like making a story. And then I started getting really into video games, and I got really into like the storytelling aspect of that. But then once I hit high school, I started to like really get into movies and film, and like just like that was just such a unique art style. And like it's like part of me like had a feeling like I want to get into this, but I'm just not sure. But then I came to Quinnipiac, and so I started off by going to like stuff I was interested in, so like Q30, QFS, stuff like that. And I started meeting like more and more film students, and like more people that had similar interest than me, and like kind of like seeing how passionate they were and like how they're able to apply themselves to what they like that kind of made me more intrigued in pursuing a career path. So at first I decided to start as a film minor to like tip my feet in the water. And like also I was like halfway through sophomore year, so like I wasn't sure of how a double major would like really work. So I started off with the film minor, and then I got more and more involved with like Q30 and QFS. And then fast forward to junior year, like I was starting to really get involved in my film class. And like over Thanksgiving break, I was starting to think like, man, I really just want to get into film. Like it's like I just really want to get into like, not that I don't like business, but like I just felt like film more suits me better than business does. Like, as much as the useful skills you can learn from business, like film was more like passionate to me. But like I just didn't know how to make it work. But then over Thanksgiving break, there was just like one night where it's like there's gotta be somehow I can make this work. So I like sat down for like hours and hours, probably more than I should, just like see what class I would have had to factor in, including what remaining business class I would have had. And like I made like several maps and charts on how to like make this work, and like without like doing too much extra time in college. So I sat down for a while, and like after I mapped out my plan, like I was and I talked to like a few people, and like and then I made this into declare my double major. I mean, it ended up being like a hectic summer. This past summer I had to take 4 classes on top of an internship, but like it was either that or do an extra semester. And like I remember like my conversation with like Ash Brandon, my film advisor, like when we were picking out classes for the fall, like she told me that like she was really impressed with like my time planning and like how I was able to plan ahead all my classes for probably the rest of college. Like she even said that when she first heard that like I was switching from a film minor to a film major, she wasn't so sure I was going to be able to pull it off. But then when she went onto my Stellar page and saw that I actually mapped out an entire plan for like the spring semester, both summer terms, this semester J term, and like the final semester in the spring, she was really impressed and like commend me for it, because it's like I just really want to make it work. Like, look, you can use business anywhere. It can definitely help you along in life, and as I said, you can apply it to like stuff outside of work. But like film is what really speaks to me. Like I just love being creative. I love characters. I love storytelling. Like the people that I've met at Quinnipiac, like in the School of Comm, have like really been a big part of my life. That have really like showed me who I really am, and like given me the push to like pursue my creative dreams and like applying myself to film. And like I really owe just being around the right group of people to like me going down the path to becoming a film major. And I've never been happier, and I love it. And like, and even if things don't work out in film, I have business to fall back on. But I aim to pursue film or something in the entertainment industry, because it's just me. That's just who I am.
That speaks a lot too. That you would map out the whole thing. That is something I feel like that you would do, to like put so much time and dedication.
Yeah,
into
most students wouldn't. They would either double major or they wouldn't double major without mapping it out. But like I just want to make it work, because like I also like didn't want to do an extra semester of college. And I was like, there's gotta be somehow a way I could make this work. And then in the end, it just resulted in me having to like take a bunch of classes this past summer, which was a lot of times, but in the end, I worked through it. I got 16 credits over this past summer, so it was basically a full semester this summer. And now I'm taking majority film and comm classes with a few business class, but like I just feel so much happier in like my film class. Like I feel like these people like speak to me more. Like obviously I have friends in the business world, as we got Mason
Klerin,
right here, probably my closest friend in like the business side of things. But
the top listener.
I don't know. It's like when I compare myself to like the business kids and compare myself to the film kids, I just see myself fitting in more with like the film people, because like they share a similar level of passion to me, and like I don't have a phone at home. Like obviously I have a good friend group at home. I have a lot of friends, but like not that many of them just share the same level of love and passion for film as I do, and like I was really lucky and fortunate to like meet so many passionate creatives at Quinnipiac that like showed me the way and helped me realize who I really am and who I'm meant to be.
Yeah. You only have one time in college, and you only have one life, so you might as well pursue the things that you love doing. And of course, meeting the people you have at Quinnipiac all started when you transferred in, just like I did, and conversations you and I have had. I know we relate on a deep level in several ways, so I'd like to ask you like the process of being a transfer student and kind of like how you already talked about, like how you made the most of your time here at QU.
Yeah, so Champlain, so that was the first college I attended, like my freshman year of high school. So I mean, not my freshman year of college. so like I initially went about the college process on the wrong way. Like I was pretty set on location bias. Like I really wanted to live in either Florida or Burlington, Vermont. Yes, I know, two completely different climates, but like I love nice weather, and like I went to summer camp in Vermont, so I thought I wanted to be in Vermont. And then COVID struck, so I was only able to tour 1 out of the 8 schools I applied to, so I never actually got to see Champlain. And also, it was a small school. Like, I went to a small high school with 180 kids. My graduating class was 54, so I was still looking on smaller scale colleges just because I thought, okay, if it worked this time, it will probably work out the next time. But then I get to Champlain, and like I knew it was a small school, but I didn't truly realize how small it was until I got there, and I was like, wow. So I mean, I still kept an open mind. I met people. I had a couple friends, but like it just like didn't feel right. It just did not feel like the right fit. Like I tried and tried, but like as time went on, it just became more apparent that like even if things were to turn around, there's no way I'm gonna grow as much as I can if I stay here as if I went to another school. So like I talked to my parents about it, and like we talked, and like we both agreed like, okay, we should at least give it the full year, which I agree with, just so I made sure I was like really sure. So came back for the second semester, and then a month, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way this is gonna work. So then I reached back out to my old college counselor, and then like she sent a list of recommended schools to apply to, and like Quinnipiac was one of them, but it was in Connecticut. So like even though I didn't want to be as location biased, I was like, I really don't want to be in Connecticut. I could like as I describe Connecticut, I call it Diet Mass, because I mean
It is
kind of a watered down version of Massachusetts. But they did push me a bit, and like also like I realized that like I was location biased the first time, and look where that ended up. So I'm like, okay, let's go in with a more open mind. And I just started walking around the campus, just like looking around. Like I went over spring break, so I didn't actually get to see many students, but like I just walked around the campus. I saw the facilities. I saw everything they had to offer, and I was just like blown away. And like I just like envisioned myself there. Like it was the first school I toured of the 3 transfer schools, and like I still had an open mind for the other schools I applied to, but like Quinnipiac definitely set the bar high, and like I would just remember like looking at York Hill before going home and just looking at the views and being like, this is the place I want to be at.
Yeah, of course.
So I sent in my application like last week of March, and then shockingly, like only like 3 days later, I hear back being like, hey, congrats, you got in. So I transferred in my sophomore year, and like didn't really know anyone well. Actually, I knew one person. Like I actually had another friend from Champlain that transferred to Quinnipiac, although he only transferred after 1 semester at Champlain. There was no correlation. I mean, we were friends before, but I meant there was no correlation of going to the same school. It was like coincidence. But sorry.
No, you're good.
So sophomore year was still definitely a big adjustment period, because like it was like hard. I feel like everyone's always so focused on how hard it is being a freshman that I feel like they often overlook like what's like being a transfer student, because like you're going in, like everyone kind of already has their friend group. So like at the beginning it was like kind of hard to like find my place, but like I put myself out there. I joined several clubs and several communities to put myself out there and got a name for myself, and that was a big help. But like it wasn't until junior year where like things started truly falling into place, and like me forming like more like solid relationships and friendships with people, and like until it became more than just people I saw in clubs, like people I would hang out with outside of it, and like and then I started meeting even more friends through other friends, like Mason. Like we had class together first semester. We had finance class, and
with Ricardo Torres.
It was quite the class. Very speedy professor, and different suit every single class. I swear to, I shit you not, like there was like probably like 40 to 45 classes a semester. Every single class he had a different suit on. I am scared. I am scared to find out how much money he spent on suits, but that was kind of like how me and Mason met, and then we had entrepreneurship together the next semester, and then we kind of like just started having meals together more, and then we started hanging out more. But like
I said, then Ricardo carried his Louis Vuitton bag every class.
Very, very, very fast and very competitive. But like, and then in Q30, I started hanging out with Q30 people outside of club events, and like, I got like more closer relations, like stronger bonds, and like, things just started really falling into place in junior, where like I felt like I was starting to find my place, and now here I am at a senior. I feel like I've made it. Obviously, still growing to do, but like we all do. But like I feel like I found my place. I have a good group of friends, and I'm usually able to keep myself busy. And just all around Quinnipiac has just been a great experience for me. And like, while it took me time to find my way, the way I look at it, it's character development. Like, freshman year sucked. Sophomore year had its up and downs, but it wasn't until junior year when things truly started falling into place. But as I try and look at it, everything happens for a reason. It's almost like I needed my first 2 years to suck for me to grow as much as I did last year, and like truly find myself and figure out who I wanted to be and figure out what's the next step. So it is character development. Like everyone finds their own journey. Like some people are able to find it right off the bat, first few weeks of freshman year. Other people like me, it took me some time to find my place, but in the end, I've made it, and I'm happy. I've had the journey I've had, and I'm surrounded by so many great and talented people.
Yeah, I very much relate. You know, I transferred into Quinnipiac a year after you did in our own timelines. I transferred in as a junior, you as a sophomore, and I very much can attest to how difficult it can feel. And I went to a smaller school where I didn't exactly fit in, and I wanted more to do. And then I joined things like Q30, where of course I met you, and started doing things like this. So I could very much understand how just kind of jumping into the new school, doing the things you want to do, and then being surrounded by people like Mason who are like-minded and who are great. And another thing we also relate to very deeply is our weight loss journey. So I'd like to ask you, Michael, to kind of take us through that and like your journey into fitness.
Yeah, no, so I mean, I struggled with obesity for the majority of my life. Like I first hit 200 pounds like towards the end of 6th grade, like May of 2014. And I've had my ups and downs there. Like I've gone through some periods where I lost weight, but then I fell off again, then I gained it back, and it was just like on and off. Because like I never really had the right guide at the beginning. Like I mean, I did have a trainer for a bit, but I mean, things just didn't really work out, and just like it wasn't like the right fit for me. And like we gave it a lot of chances, and I tried, but like I don't know. I feel like, and also like I feel like when I had my trainer, I was like in like kind of like locked and like trying to like figure out solely how to do it. And like also I wasn't going to the gym enough on my own. Like I just wasn't eating right. And, like I was just like mad at myself a lot. I felt like shit a lot of the time. Like I was like really insecure about myself. And like I just kept eating like shit. I kept like telling myself, okay, I'm gonna stop, but then I just went back, and it kept happening. So that happened for a while, and then we let go of my trainer, and like I've had some naturally I've had some arguments with my family about my weight, and then and then we jumped to the start of junior year. Like I was really getting to a point. Like I was started off last school year at 271.5 pounds, high blood pressure, and all that. And then I remember like the first day of classes of junior year, two of my classes I had that day. It was like one of those desks where it was like kind of like built into the chair, and like I was literally like pressed against the couch with like my stomach going over it, and I was like, I was a fatty, I know, but so I was like, I cannot keep doing this. So it's like, and up until then, I tried keto, or like I would try these really intense, unrealistic, no carb diets were just unrealistic, because like I was hearing, oh, carbs are bad. So like I would try to be perfect, and like I would get to like I'd stick with it for 2 weeks, but then crash out, and then be like, it isn't working, and then burn out by eating just more shit and junk food. But this time I decided I was gonna make a small change, just like every day, and just like slowly start going to the gym more and more, and get more acquainted. So I started working out more, and then I started to see the scale started to finally go down at a steady rate. And then I was like, oh wow, this is actually working. So then I started working out more and more, And then as I started losing more weight, that motivated me to like start eating better. So I started like being more health conscious about my decision. Then, and like instead of just doing like an intense like jump like I had done before, I like slowly eased into it and then slowly let some cheat things back on like in small increments. Because losing weight does not mean you had to say goodbye to your favorite foods. And also anyone that tells you carbs are the enemy, that's just not true. Like it all depends on like moderation and balance and like just how much you have or like when you're having them. Because like carbs are an energy source. So, like usually like I get most of my carbs in before my workouts each day, but like you can still have some on the side. And, like you can still have your cheat meal. Like I still feel like I can have my favorite foods occasions and like still relatively a decent way without feeling too much guilt. But like it's like not all the time and balanced because like at the end of the day, no one wants to admit it, but no amount of exercise can help you outrun a healthy diet. It's just the way of life. But I said it doesn't mean cutting out your favorite foods or like no carbs or you can't have this and that. It's just all about finding balance and moderation, just being health conscious. So as I started eating better and being healthier, I just like started feeling better myself. So like first semester of last year, I started off at 271.5, ended at 236. Then when I started off spring semester, I was at 233 and then ended spring semester at 206. And then I hit a bit of a plateau in the summer because I mean naturally you're gonna hit some plateaus. That's like how it is, and like you gotta adjust. And then I came back here and like I started losing weight again. Then Sunday I hopped on the scale and like the number was 199. So it was the first time in almost 9.5 years that I weighed less than 200. And like that was just such a good feeling. Like it just like such a relief and so much better myself. And like now I stepped on the scale again yesterday and I was 198. And it was just such a good feeling because I never thought I was ever gonna get below 200 again. And now here I am. I feel so much better myself. And like kind of what also contributed to my growth and like me being more confident and outgoing to people was my weight loss. Because like obviously it's not always about looks, but like the more weight I lost and the more I worked out more became more healthy, like gave me a lot more mental clarity. And like I feel like I could think more clear. I didn't feel as shy. I like feel like I could go out more and be around people because like someone would be around, like you'd be around and be like everyone would be like skinny or buff and like you would, and like I was like the fat kid. So it was like kind of a journey last year, losing 65 pounds, and then while I had to hit a plateau in the summer, like already this semester, like we've only been here for like a little under a month, and I've already lost another 8 pounds. So it's like it's been quite the journey, and just relief that like I'm finally in an ideal body weight, and like I still got ways to go, but like this is like the healthiest I've been in a long time, probably my entire life, because I just did not make health conscious decision. Like I was like really insecure. I would turn to food as like a coping mechanism, but then I started chaining that to the gym and just like start. And like the thing about fitness is that you really just gotta sit down and find what works for you. Like in any other case, that would be a generic piece of advice, but like that's the truth. Like everyone's body is different. So like I was too busy like listening to like what other people were telling me that I should do. Oh, you should do this, you should do that, but like it wasn't working for me. So like it wasn't until I actually sat down, like did my own research, and like in the words of Miles Morales, I'm gonna do it my own way. Right? I actually sat down, like did my own research, like found out different workout routines, different diets, like did my own research on nutrition instead of hearing what other people were telling me about like figuring out the right balance of like protein, carbs, fruits, veggies, and just all that stuff. And so it's like you really gotta experiment, because like I could give someone my own my advice and tell them what worked for me when I was trying to lose weight, but it might not work for them because everybody's different. Like I'm still like we'll give them the advice, but at the end of the day, everyone that wants to lose weight has to go out and let's just find what works for them and like really assess themselves and like what they were doing wrong and like what can I do to improve that. So it's like it wasn't until I did a self-assessment of myself that like I was finally able to have that success. So like. To anyone else out there who's like trying to lose weight and is struggling with obesity like I did for so long, just find what works. Like obviously hear out people's advice, but like don't be so set in stone. Like try it out, but like if it's clear it's not working, then like do your own research. Like don't say fuck all and like start eating like shit again, not working out like I did. experiment, and just like find the balance. And like, yeah, I work out 5 or 6 days a week. I lift a lot of weights. I track my steps. I do cardio when I can, and like I still eat a decent amount. And like and as I said, I feel like I can still eat my favorite foods without good, but just like I can't have them all the time. Like so it's like it's a good like 80-20 rule. So like 80% of the time you're eating healthy food, while the other 20% you're eating more fun food and like stuff more care. And like even that 8%, that doesn't have to be like stuff you don't like, because like also chances are healthy versions of your favorite foods also do exist. So you just gotta find the right thing, and also find the right recipes, because like chances are if you look hard enough you could find a healthy version of your favorite food, or like something that's not particularly healthy, and like still enjoy it, because like obviously just like different taste buds, just find the recipe and just find something healthy that still tastes good, and while treating yourself, but just not overly, like, because you also got to challenge your metabolism. And like as I said earlier, you can't completely cut everything off, because like you can't expect your metabolism to like handle that drastic of a change in just a couple days and then just be set on it, because that's what happened with me. And like that's why I wasn't working, because like I would like try these things with like eating very little and like zero carbs whatsoever, and then I would crash out because it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah, it's very interesting how much that matches up with my own journey, because I know a lot of people don't know. My older brother and I talked about it on here, but I lost 80 pounds since I graduated high school, and it was doing a lot of the things you did, like during the pandemic. I don't know if it was like a depression thing, but I gained a ton of weight by eating too much, and then
because of football.
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit because of football.
Wait. So were you like? Was it like me, where like you were from a kid, or like did you like gain weight at a certain point in time?
A semi-point, like I was always heavier, but not badly heavy, like dangerously heavy. But then during the pandemic, when of course my senior season of football got canceled, so there was a bit of a correlation there. And yeah, I was kind of just like, when you're stuck at home, eating too much, got really heavy, was really down mentally, like a lot of kids were during the pandemic, because it was a really stunting period, I would say, for a lot of people such as myself. And then yeah, I kind of ate too much and then got really heavy, went into college, and then kind of decided to make a change when I'm a little bit into my college time. And then yeah, I was at like 220 pounds at one point, which of course with my height is being
probably
like 5'7".
Like my 271 that I was at
exactly,
the beginning
yeah.
of, and like I've had different heaviest points. Like the heaviest I ever was like in sophomore year of high school, I reached 290. Then I lost a little bit of weight, and then like over COVID I was able to lose even more weight, and like by the end of like freshman year of high school, like I got down to 245. But then summer hit, and then freshman year of college started, which like I had a lot of stuff going on that like led to me falling back off again. I was regaining weight at a slower rate than it was before, but like I was still like going up and up, and then climbed back to the 270s range. And like as I said, there's a wide variety of reasons why I decided to lose weight, like insecurity, feeling like the awkward one out, slowing people down, people making fun of me for my weight, or like judging me. And like it was just like no more. I need to make this change. And like and like now that I've gone from 271.1.5 to 198.8, like I feel like I have a lot more mental clarity. I feel better about myself. I sleep better. I have more energy. I'm a much more active person than I was before. Like my mom used to have to nag me all the time to go to the gym, and now she's like, "Oh, you don't have to go to the gym that much." So I was like, "Yeah," kind of like the opposite now.
Suffering from success again,
Right?
And like, yeah, my own right. Now I'm down to 150, and very much what you're saying. It's just true. You work out, you lose weight, you're eating good, you just feel good. It's just a natural thing. And that's something that's really profound that you're sharing here. Like everything you shared here, I really agree with, and it really speaks to the work ethic you have, and the effort you put into everything. And since we're talking about fitness, Mason, you're an athlete.
Yes.
So I'd like to ask
Hockey.
you about being on the club roller hockey team and what you love about the sport.
Yeah, well, club roller hockey, it's not much of a commitment. I mean, it's one practice a week. But growing up, I mean, playing ice hockey, I started at 3.5. By the time I was in middle school, I also did taekwondo from when I was like 4. So I was doing 4 taekwondo like practices a week on top of like 2 hockey games a weekend and 3 practices a week. So I would go taekwondo to hockey, come home, eat dinner, and then do homework at like 9, 10 o'clock every night, probably for 10 years straight.
And what time would you go to sleep those nights?
11 or 12 in middle school. Yeah.
Okay, well,
not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
guess 1 or 2 hours of homework is normal for middle school.
Yeah, but yeah. So I stopped Taekwondo about in, like 7th or 8th grade. I reached my second degree black belt. High school came. I did hockey, and being good enough to be on varsity, but not good enough to play on varsity. So I rode the bench on varsity freshman year. I played like 4 or 5 games. I actually got in, but I would also play JV. So I would have 5 practices a week, maybe 2 or 3 games a weekend, and we'd be in the gym 3 times a week. So
it's like you get to
nonstop. Doing exercise.
And so it's like you get to be the best on JV. Like
best on JV, and I'd be the worst on varsity.
Yeah, I remember I had a friend in high school that was like on the varsity team, but was getting benched a lot, so I asked if he could switch to JV, and then ended up being the best player on the team.
It was only until my sophomore year I really started playing on varsity. But I mean, I would come home, go to practice. I'd get home at 7 o'clock, have dinner, and then I start homework at 8. And then by 9, 10 o'clock, I'd be like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. So I do it the next morning at like 7 a.m. before school. Yeah.
An intense
You worked
grind.
out that early?
What? No, woke up like to do homework.
Oh, okay. I could not do that.
I get to school like 7:15, and classes started at 7:53 every single morning. So I would do 30 minutes until then.
Yeah.
And then usually we'd have a rotating schedule. So if it was, I don't know, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4 days. If it was a 3-day, I'd have a free period for an hour. Then I'd do more homework then. So yeah, that's what we do.
And how is the club roller hockey team here at Quinnipiac?
Oh
How's
yeah.
playing
So
on that?
my freshman year, I didn't do it. I didn't even know about it. It only started my freshman year. I only did intramural ice hockey, so that was 4 times a semester, not at anything at all. So about, I guess, through the second semester freshman year, I heard about it, and I was like, oh, I should have done this. Why not? So sophomore year, I tried out. I made the team, and I was like, okay, where's our rink? There was no rink on campus. So every week we drive like 35 minutes or 40 minutes to Plainville or Plainview. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like north towards Mass, I guess. But besides that, most of our tournaments, we don't have games. We have, well, it is games, but it's not a real tournament where you win a trophy or something. We play 3 or 4 games in a weekend, but we'll go to like URI or Providence. We'll go to Philadelphia. We'll go to New Jersey, Rutgers. And that's like our tournament. So my sophomore year, we made it all the way to nationals, and we went to California. We went to Anaheim for a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. We were the D3 runner-ups. We got 2nd place in the country.
Oh, nice.
But we lost 9-1 in the finals.
Hey, I mean, you were there.
Hey, at least you
Anaheim.
made it. At least you made it that far.
And then last year we made it to nationals. It was in Maine, but we didn't do too well. We didn't place. So, yeah.
How was Anaheim?
Anaheim was amazing. I mean, we went to Santa Monica, the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
loved
we
it
didn't
there.
actually go swimming with my dad, but we met one of my dad's cousins was there, so he took us around.
Oh, sweet.
And, we went to Beverly Hills and stuff. We went out to lunch and dinner. We went down Hollywood Boulevard. Of course, had to see all the stars and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
And then we just did some sightseeing and stuff. And then besides that, our games were fun. And then we had the rest of the day to do whatever.
Perfect, yeah. As you know, I was there this past summer.
Yeah.
Real beautiful.
That was my second time in California because we were there in 2017 for an actual vacation because this one wasn't a vacation, just playing hockey. So
it was business.
Yeah.
Did you get to do any fun stuff, or was it only business?
Yeah, we got to do fun stuff. I mean, we most of our games were in the morning, so we had the rest of the day to just travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And kind of moving onwards, guys, I'd like to ask you, like, getting into some personal topics, like, what are some things that people may not know about you? Like fun facts.
Fun facts. I don't know. I collect coins. I'm a coin collector.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I think my dad had a collection like in the 70s, and he gave me it when I was like 4 or 5.
It's kind of passing it down,
Yeah, and I've just been collecting ever since.
What kind of coins?
Like I started with just American stuff. I mean, basic American stuff, like literally just like maybe old, like maybe 30, 40, 50 years old, not too old. But since high school, when I actually got a job and started getting real money, I started buying like silver coins, and I worked my way up to gold coins. So I bought a bunch of gold coins when gold price was at $1,600, and I think gold as of today is at $2,640 now.
Oh wow!
So it's $1,000 increase since 4 or 5 years ago.
Lucrative.
Yeah, so I made huge profits, but I haven't actually sold it. I could make huge profits, but I'm not going to.
You're holding your
shares.
shares.
I'm just gonna hold it.
Yeah. In the
Because gold, no matter what the stock market does, it just stays the same. It's a hedge against inflation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So gold is like a standstill.
No matter if the stock market goes up, gold is not going to shoot up. It's not going to shoot down. It's going to stay the same. It just slowly goes up over time.
One thing you can rely on is gold to be very valuable.
But it's not something you're looking to like get rich in now. I mean, maybe in 20, 30 years you could, but it's not something to like as a young kid to do. Just like if you want to really make a lot of money, no.
What is something you think you could get rich in?
I mean, I would say I had a roommate last year, Ethan Hill. He was friends with, I guess you guys know Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Ethan was a big crypto guy.
Huh.
Me and my dorm mate Steve never believed in him. But I mean, he made a lot of money, but I think he also had huge losses as
Wasn't
well.
he also in our finance class?
He was in our finance class, but he had huge profits as well. Like he's made a lot of money on crypto, but we
Wow.
just don't invest enough time in it as he did.
Interesting.
So yeah.
'Cause you always hear about people losing a lot of their
Yeah.
money in crypto.
I mean, he's lost money, but he's made probably more than his
I mean, you
losses.
just gotta
10 times
you
over.
just got to be smart
So,
about how much you do it and like what
Yeah,
stocks
yeah.
you invest in. Like over the summer, I did have an internship at my uncle's stock market. I mean, finance firm, which like did a lot of stocks. So like I know I said I'm more into film, but like I decided I like do a business centric internship, just like knock out an easy requirement for like business. So it's like one more film class to take and like one last business class I had to take this year. But like it was like really interesting to like look at the stock market and like seeing like how high and low it can get and like how fast it can change like any given day and like and like so like the thing about my uncle, like for the interns like I mean he was like pretty blatant, like the interns there don't really add that much value, and like there's so many people that come in, so like he kind of lets you choose what stocks you look into and so naturally I chose film stocks, and so I looked at different companies and like it was like interesting to see like how little some were worth. Like companies like I was really surprised to see like Warner Brothers and Paramount have pretty low stocks. Like you would expect them like being two of the big five film studios, that they would be in like the hundreds range, like Disney and Sony are. But no, Warner Bros was only like I think it was like 11 billion, and Paramount was like 17 or 18 billion. Well, like everything. Well, like Sony was like 107 million, I want to say, or then Disney like 150. I was like 190 something million, and like Netflix 640. But like it was just interesting to see like in stocks like how fast the market changes on any given day. Like I remember like I think it was like Netflix, like it was like really high one week and like a really good investment to make, but then by the end of that week it like plummeted all the way down. Like it was like, okay, you invested in that, you're kind of fucked.
like you were talking about during COVID, time when no one did anything.
Yeah.
That was the perfect time to invest if you actually did. Because was it March 14th or March 13th something, when they announced COVID to the world?
Yeah, I think it was March 12th.
I think every single stock and stock market freaking crashed. And I wish I had a trading account then, because if you put $1,000 into anything, you would have been literally rich.
Did you invest into the GameStop thing?
No.
And
I didn't do AMC or GameStop. No.
I dumb money.
Yeah.
I saw that movie. I did a package on it for hashtag.
No, I remember that. I still have not seen that movie. I've been meaning to get around to it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But like every stock since COVID, it's gone back to what it originally was, and every single one's gone over since what it was. But if you invested at COVID, like I think most stocks, like Coca-Cola, it was at like I think $85 a share. The next day it was at $38 a share, and now today it's at $72. So it's gone up two times its value since then. So if you would have put $38 in, you would have had 2 shares now. Not actually, but if you would have sold it, you could have had 2 shares. So
interesting.
Yeah,
it's like life.
Yeah,
the stock market.
Yep.
Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down.
Yeah.
And it could come out of nowhere.
But there's like, if you do a long-term investment, it's just you're guaranteed over time to make money if you just keep it. There's nothing. It's not gonna hurt you. It's just don't go for easy profits, because it's not gonna happen. Yeah. You'll suffer on it.
if it seems too good, it probably is too good to
Unless,
be real.
like he was talking about GameStop.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That was too
But even
good.
then, you had to be like right on the dot with that.
Yeah. Like.
And AMC, like, no, like that thing actually saved AMC, because they were on the brink of going bankrupt, and like because of that whole scandal, they were able to survive and sustain themselves until like the pandemic faded out, and then they're back to business.
Yeah. The rewards being bold.
Yeah.
You would say the stock market.
I think. Did you watch a documentary on it?
I have not. I saw a movie.
I
on
didn't
the
watch. I didn't watch
GameStop.
a movie documentary. Was it the guy Kitty? Is that his name?
Yeah, something.
I think it was it GameStop for him, or was it?
Yeah, it was
AMC?
GameStop.
Yeah, so GameStop. I think recently, in the summer, he posted something on Twitter. He's like, "I'm back" or something.
Yeah.
And everybody bought it. GameStop went up again, and then the people on Wall Street, they halted the trading. You weren't allowed to trade on it because they thought it was market manipulation by him. So everybody who bought it, they didn't buy it, and the people who already had it, they all lost their money.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let it happen again.
Mm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I remember that whole scandal.
Because most of the times they're one-time things. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember like I was in like pre-calc class, I want to say, and like someone like just like blurred out there's a whole thing, and I'm like, no, it's not. And then we were like looking at it like, holy shit, you're right. And then fast forward to advisory, like my advisor, like we were in like advising groups, so it was like 2 or 3 advisors like paired into one, because like it was a small school, and like one of them was like, this is fucking ridiculous, because like it was like GameStop just went up a stupid amount, like AMC, and then even Blockbuster, which I think there's only like, if I'm not mistaken, one left in like Colorado or something.
Yeah, it's like a
which like
artifact now.
Yeah, artifact now, because like you don't get to rent DVDs anymore. So
Blockbuster, you mean?
Yeah, with Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I do miss those days when like you could like get DVD and like
physical
like,
media.
I guess as much fun as convenient as streaming is, and like how you have everything at the tip of your fingers. It's almost like at times it could be like overwhelming to decide what you want to watch. Like sometimes you almost spend as much time looking for something to watch than actually watching something. Or like, or like back in those days, it's like I don't know, it's like something special about like going to the store and like renting a movie and then watching it with your family, and like renting a DVD on Netflix and returning it. Like, I don't know, it's like it almost felt like there was like some more like community bond with that. But like now, like I mean, streaming has had a big effect on the film industry, but like now it's like so many people are like more selective about like what they want to go see in theaters. Like, I don't think theaters are ever gonna die completely. Like, I feel fully confident that movie theaters will survive, but I do think we are entering this like new era where like most people are gonna be like more picky and selective about like what they see in theaters. Where like pre-pandemic, people would like see whatever in the theaters, but like nowadays they're like, okay, I'm definitely want to see this on the big screen, but this, I could wait a couple months for it to come onto streaming.
I very much agree. I also think it speaks to theaters being very expensive, especially concessions.
Yeah, like
too,
it could
be very expensive.
It could be hard.
A ticket's like $17, and you get popcorn. That's another $10.
Yeah, no,
like
it's like
$30 or $40.
$7.
Yeah, no, like
exactly.
it could be hard. It could be hard to like justify the movie ticket price, because one movie ticket's like the average price of like 1 month of a streaming service. And sometimes it can even cost more. But like the way I look at it, because like even though it is, some people are like, oh, that's such a ripoff. The way I look at it is it's like you're paying more for the experience than the movie itself, because like certain movies you can't capture that same community feeling than when you're watching it on your couch. Like, for example, like, could you imagine watching the portal scene in Endgame on home on a couch, or like on your phone while you're waiting to get on a plane in the airport, rather than when you're in the theater opening weekend, the entire crowd's going nuts, cheering, clapping, everyone in the theater loves Mario, you're celebrating this thing together. Like, you can't recreate that same experience at home. And like, sure, there's plenty of movies that like you can save for streaming, but like, I don't know, like the way I look at it, like it's like going to movie theaters, like it's a community thing. Like people come together. Like
what Nicole Kidman says. On
Exactly.
AMC.
So you know, you're in the know.
Don't worry, I've been to a few movies.
Yeah, we saw Dune 2 together.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing I like about going to movies. It's like you come together. Like, you may be in a room with a bunch of strangers, but like at the end of the day, you guys like have one common love for like movies, and like you're coming together to see a movie you love, you laugh at, you shit on it, you cry together. If you're like in Rise of, like I remember like Rise of Skywalker, everyone was in the theater was like shitting on it, getting so mad.
Yeah. I mean, you're exactly right with everything like that, and experience of seeing Endgame. There's nothing quite like it.
Yeah.
It's like us when we're watching South Park in our suite. We're watching it together. We're experiencing that together.
Well, I'm not sure if you go to the movie theater to just watch a South Park episode.
South Park movie.
Exactly.
That was the thing.
That
was the thing. That is true.
I have it on DVD.
So. It actually recently turned 25 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun fact.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I honestly would not have minded to go to the theater and see that if I ever had the opportunity to. I actually wait. No, I think I saw like on a movie. I forget if it was like when I first came here this semester, or like towards the end of the summer. I remember seeing somewhere was like playing the South Park movie in theaters. I was like, oh, I really want to see this in theaters, but like, I forget what the exact reason was. I remember like it was like an inconvenient time, so like that's why I didn't get to see it. But like I would go see it, but like most people wouldn't want to see something like that on the big screen. But it's like you just can't recreate the theater experience.
Yeah, and seeing comedies in theaters are great too. Like, you don't see many comedies.
Yeah, most comedies, they're fine to see on a regular screen, because I mean they're not like high budget or have these big effects, but like but like as I said, you laugh together, you like make jokes together. Like you guys are.
Yeah.
It almost like makes the movie funnier because you're with a bunch of people like laughing together.
It's like therapeutic. I feel like to go and see a comedy movie in the theaters. Like you brought up Step Brothers.
Yes.
Before we started,
Yeah.
you were joking that you were going to interview me.
Yeah.
Like exactly.
There's a few comedy movies every year that you can just rewatch over and over again.
Step Brothers is one of them.
Yeah.
Like now I think there's the point where me and Mason we're going to be conducting the interview and not you.
Yeah, exactly. And since I want to get to that point, we could move on forwards, and I'd like to ask you guys some of your hopes and dreams professionally or in general.
I mean, I hope to get a job next year, but I'm also hoping maybe one day have my own business. So,
What kind of a business?
Don't know yet, but hoping whatever I work in, I can become good enough or an expert, and then open my own business, have people under me work for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Coin business?
No, definitely not. No. But
Interesting. I mean, that's the goal, and everything you've told me on here, you have quite the business knowledge.
Yeah.
And of course, you got to keep building that up.
Like for me, I definitely want to do something more like film oriented. Like I've been back and forth about what I want. Like since I did a lot of theater back in the day, I used to think that I wanted to be an actor. And like, well, I still wouldn't mind doing acting professionally. Like since I've come to Quinnipiac and gone to more hands-on experience and like working with a set and working with equipment, like I've gotten much more into like working behind the scenes. Like for my senior capstone this year, I'm going to be the assistant director, so I'm going to be making the schedule and like. I just want to do like some type of content creating, or like even if not like on a film star, just like work in entertainment, just like doing something that like brings people together, and like something that like I'm passionate about, like other people are passionate about, and like just giving my all. I know it's not easy industry to like get into, but like I want to give it my all, and like I need to say that I tried, and like I'm gonna give it my all after college to like make it in the film world or entertainment, and like even if things don't work out, I have business to fall back on, which I can use anywhere. But like film and entertainment are like my main passion and drive, and like it's really like the person I want to be. It's like who I am. So like I do want to do something like with content creating or entertainment media or something along those lines.
Yeah, you're definitely a big go big or go home kind of guy, and everything you do, and I feel like you're gonna have great success because of that, because of like the bold choices you make, whether it's in your acting or it's in the things you do. And now I'm on to what I call the golden question. What are some of your guys' favorite movies?
Should we go by genre?
You could go by whatever you want.
This is a hard one. This is a hard one because like there's so many movies I like that this is like such a hard question. Like I mean, if I pull up my Letterboxd, like my top 4 on Letterboxd is Logan, Blade Runner 2049, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and Kung Fu Panda 2, but
nice.
But like that is subject. I know to drop. I mean, no, Kung Fu Panda is still like a really good movie. Like,
yeah, they're a ton of fun.
Well, that could easily change. But I mean, I guess kind of going with that like, with animation. Like, I mean, some people like look down on kid movies being like, oh, it's just animated. You're not gonna get any deeper meaning out. But it's like, you really can. I went through this phase in middle school. Like I would judge a movie by the rating and be like, ew, PG, ew, G. I need to be edgy, PG-13. Oh, but like when you really sit down and think about it, a rating is just being like, okay, what limits do I do? And like just because a movie is PG, like it doesn't mean it pushes the limits. Like like for example, like the Kung Fu Panda movies. Like I mean, they're not I wouldn't say they're my favorite of all time, but like, they're my favorite anime movies, and like they definitely are high up on the list. But because like Poe was a character who's like kind of a joke, no one takes seriously until he finally applies himself and like tries it all and like proves everyone wrong, and like it's like kind of like being like it's okay to be different, it's okay to be unique because like everyone's their own person. Just because other people found it easier, was able to find that way easier, doesn't make you useless or nothing. Like you just gotta go out. Like same with like movies like How to Train Your Dragon. Like Hiccup is the outcast of his village and community, but then he goes on to like do big things and like change the entire community's outlook on like dragons and and like obviously with like other movies like. Guess some of my other favorite movies like Logan. It was like such a perfect ending, and like the Planet of the Apes movies are like a new interest of mine. Like I got into them with the Summer Life for Kingdom. I was like, okay, let's actually watch these movies because like at first I thought it was just about apes taking over humanity. It's gonna be kind of stupid. But like it was actually probably pretty interesting. Like just seeing like how they got to the point they were at, and like you could really argue both sides.
Interesting. You are kind of like Poe. You have that great energy. That
I've been compared to Poe before,
You got
like
the-
having that big energy,
big
but a
energy.
big heart and a big try hard.
Big noodle guy. Or
I'm more of a big sushi guy or Chipotle guy,
Chipotle
but
guy, yeah.
I still like my noodles. I mean,
Yeah.
I like udon.
Okay.
What's your favorite noodle? What's your favorite
I don't know. Like ramen noodles, I guess. No, but
The
like,
hard-hitting
like,
questions.
Not from the box that a college kid makes, like
Oh,
an
yeah.
actual restaurant.
Yeah,
Real
like
noodles,
those are like
authentic.
honestly like some of those spicy ramens that you get at, like 7-Eleven or convenience stores, like they just give like no restraints. Like they just like have like no regulations. Just dump like even if you dump a little bit, like it's insanely spiced. Like Alex Bean over there, I have experience having like high spice ramen.
Yeah.
Let's call it some of my favorite comedies. I probably think Happy Gilmore.
Oh, that's a
funny.
good one. How do you feel about Happy Gilmore 2 coming out?
Well, my friends actually went to the casting in Morristown.
Oh, really?
Really?
Well, there were like 10,000 people showed up, so they couldn't get in. But yeah. But
that's cool.
I mean, besides Happy Gilmore, I like Airplane.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles. My classics. Spaceballs. You know.
Space. I like.
And
Yeah.
As you said, Step Brothers.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
The Jump Streets. Have you seen those?
yeah, 21 Jump Street, 22. They're good,
No.
but nothing compares to Airplane and Blazing Saddles.
Airplane,
Nothing.
yeah.
Nothing does.
Of
Nothing.
course,
Nothing ever
Blazing
beat
Saddles
that
is your
comedy.
favorite.
That's nice.
Of course,
And
Blazing
all
Saddles
the
is
scary
your favorite.
movies.
All the scary.
Yeah.
Those are
I
great.
need to watch.
Those-
I need to watch them all. I've only seen the third scary movie.
I've seen the first. They are so funny.
Yeah.
But
No, like we should have a movie night sometime soon.
Yeah,
and just
definitely.
watch them.
Action movies. I mean, I like all the Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones,
Mm.
Rambo, stuff like that.
Yeah, those are all good ones.
But I also like like war movies, like I
Mm.
say The Deer Hunter, Platoon,
Huh.
Apocalypse Now,
Hmm.
Saving Private Ryan. But that's like
Hmm.
I think those are all like overrated. Most of those. But,
Interesting.
I guess crime movies, Goodfellas,
Yeah.
Godfather, Once Upon a Time in America.
Hmm.
These are all classics. Yeah. And then recently I just watched 2 days ago. I watched Gone with the Wind for the first
Yeah.
time.
Oh, that's a
Told me.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
1939. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I know you watched The Great Escape
Yeah, I just watched
in
that a
our
week
in
ago.
our suite as
I
well.
like to watch a lot of old movies.
You know, I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
watching
Yeah.
old movies too. Like I know I know a lot of people that are like more biased towards like modern movies and like because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the effects aren't that good. Oh, they're not as interesting. But it's like I still take the time to appreciate old movies because it's like it was a different stage of filmmaking back then. So it's like you almost get to like see the evolution of filmmaking. And like when I was younger, even before I was like a big movie person, I always enjoyed watching older movies because like it also like gives you like a glimpse into what the world was like before you were born, which I always found really cool about old movies. And like
Yeah.
Like
they're
me
time
as I
Time
said,
capsules,
and like
yeah.
as I said, like just seeing different state of filmmaking, like with like some people like trash all effects, but like it's kind of cool to see practical effects, because like
Exactly. Yeah.
like let's say like for example like the modern era of Marvel, like when there's some like there's not really much of an excuse for like that bad of CGI with some of the more recent products, but like stuff like from like the 90s and 80s, like it was a whole different time period back then, so it's like they had to be more practical and like they couldn't have these like big CGI budgets that we have today, so like you kind of got to give them a pass on like why the effects don't look as good as like some of the more modern movies.
Yeah. And what were you gonna add, Mason?
I would say me and my mom were big Alfred Hitchcock fans.
Huh.
The Birds and Psycho. Everyone's freaking seen
Psycho. Yeah.
I mean,
the
who
classic. Yeah.
hasn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
But last year for the first time I watched Citizen Kane
Mm.
and Casablanca.
Mm.
Good ones. And I'm a big fan of Ben-Hur, but like the 1959
Wow.
one.
Oh, really?
Charlton Heston. Yeah.
Huh.
That's a good one. And you're talking about Planet of the Apes. I like the original 1968.
I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen the
are better than the new
original.
ones.
I haven't seen the original.
Huh.
The new ones aren't as good.
I've heard from the original 5, though, that lineup. I heard the first
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
really good, but then they progressively get
The
worse.
first one's the best one. You can't.
But I heard ones that
It doesn't get progressively
got
worse. They're all worse. They're all just as worse. They're all as worse as they can be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Would you say those? Would you still think those are better than the newer movies, or like just
Nah,
the first?
only
one?
the first one.
The first
Only
one's
the
better,
first
but
one.
then the rest of it.
Yeah, the
so
rest of
is
it-
it basically like first one, the newer movies, everything else? Is
You
that
only have to
basically-
watch the first one. And that's it. You don't have to watch the
Alright.
rest of them. Just like
Wow.
watching Jaws.
Yeah.
You don't watch Jaws 2. You
Yeah,
watch
I've
Jaws. You
I
just
never
watch
bothered with
Jaws.
those. Or like with Jurassic
Yeah.
Park. Or like with
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. Like I mean, you can't watch the other ones. But like Jurassic Park was like such a 10 out of 10 movie, and like it just works so good as a standalone. And they kind of fumbled the ball with 2 and 3. World had potential, but then Dominion was weird, and then Fallen Kingdom would just sucked.
Hmm.
Hopefully, the new one with Scarlett Johansson is good, but given
Yeah.
given the past 2,
Yeah, you would watch that.
shut up. But like, given the, I don't. But like, I don't. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because I like Jurassic Park and I like Scarlett Johansson. Not in that.
Alright.
Okay, I didn't mean to do it. But But yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. But like, yeah, it's like guy like you always gotta figure out like, does a movie really need a sequel? Like, I feel like a problem with Hollywood these days is they're looking too much at the past rather than moving forward. Like, bring back old actors, making sequels, making reboots, and like it is always interesting to like see a modern spin on things, but But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you still gotta like be original. Like you can't always like go in the past because like everything's evolving. Like the world keeps turning and spinning and spinning and spinning.
Very, very true. And Mason, you're the first person to do their favorite movies by genre.
Yeah.
On this, and I've had a lot of film students on here. So
you
that's
guys are like
impressive.
film guys, right?
Very much so. Yeah.
When I was younger, I probably watched my parents' The Sound of Music. That's a classic with Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
I never saw that one.
I'm a big fan of Titanic. I like Titanic. Anytime that's on TV,
no,
I'll
Titanic
watch it.
is a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's like there are very few 10 out of 10 movies out there. That's a perfect movie.
Like I've seen that, and I mean, you guys probably haven't seen A Night to Remember, the first Titanic in like 1950
I have
something.
not.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I never saw the full thing.
They made one, I think, in 1913, literally with one of the survivors, but she just like ruined the movie.
Oh, did you ever see that?
She literally died.
Did you ever see that?
2 years later or something.
Did you ever
like
see that weird one? Like I want to say 1982 was like raising the Titanic, where they raised the Titanic from the sea, but then 2 years later they finally found the wreckage and realized, oh wait, it is torn in half.
No. But besides Titanic, I've seen The Poseidon Adventure. You ever see that?
I've not. No.
Oh, Percy Jackson. Do you like those? Like if you're big on water.
Percy Jackson's good, yeah, but I think just the first one's good. Not the Sea of Monsters. I'm not a fan of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting list of films and a very interesting episode. I'd like to thank you guys for coming on. Like Mason, you're one of my first suite mates.
Yeah.
To come on here. Yeah. Or the first.
Like I didn't even know you a month ago.
Exactly.
So,
Now you're on my show, and Michael Katz-Flynn.
We all worked out like you didn't know. Like we were
both
friends,
mutually
then we
knew
each other. We all knew
So,
I knew him, I knew you, you know him. But like then we came together and it was like, oh wow. But what were you saying about me before? Sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on here with other guests. Like you're the ultimate recruiter, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And of course, just Michael, like you're just so talented in so many ways, and such a big guy, such a big presence in so many ways as well. And just being around you is always so fun. You're always great for one of those like cool one-liners, and it's been great getting to know you, Mason.
Yeah.
And you guys are a great duo. Us going up to On the Rocks and getting Riz sauce with our burgers.
Oh
it's
Jesus, guy.
And hanging
Those
with you guys.
were pretty much.
And then tonight we'll see his dance moves at Anchi's or something.
Exactly. Going to Anchi's with you guys and our
Anchi's.
boys Joe Flynn and Liam. Yeah. That's been fun. And before we go, do you guys want to add anything else? Just like any parting statements?
I mean, I had fun being here. I didn't know what to expect. I had nothing coming into this, so he was the only one who got a script or something before this. Like I had nothing.
Yeah,
so.
You could have.
I forgot to send it to you. I admit.
So
thank you for having me on Ryan. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Like seeing you on the podcast. Like I mean, I haven't seen all your episodes, but like I've seen bits and pieces of like a lot of them and like a few full episodes, and like it's nice to finally come on and see myself on an episode. Of
course, I know you're a big Zicast appreciator, so I appreciate you coming on, and we put on a really interesting episode.
Yeah.
So as always, this is Ryan Zix with the Zicast, where everyone has a story. Signing off. Thank you so much for watching.